I remembered a post that happened just a few hours ago inside of my membership, Your First 5K, where I teach people how to make their first 5,000 and beyond. And this post is just like I can't stop thinking about it. And what I want to do is I'm going to show you exactly what this member did to make $17,000 in something like 3 weeks. I'm going to show you exactly what she did and how you can do something similar. Cannot make any guarantees that you're going to make any money, but I'm going to show you how I think about this. And it's crazy because this is like the second time this person has done this in my group. If you go into Your First 5K, you'll see right now that the pin post is from Gail. And Gail is 69 years young. She has featured on my YouTube channel before because she's just so impressive to me. And she's not doing anything crazy. She's not coming from a place of like she has a bunch of stuff figured out. She just listens to what I teach and then she goes out and she does something about it. So if you see this at the end, it says here, all of this started from Arlan's challenge to make $100 offers. My mind is blown. People are blowing up my inbox on Facebook trying to find the replays of my free training. And so what she's talking about is if you go into the classroom, this 5-day challenge, your $100 offer challenge. This is what she took. And this is where, this is how it started and this is where she is. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of what she says. So she says, I joined this group almost a year ago. I definitely have made money, but I wasn't consistent. There was a piece missing for me. So 3 weeks ago, the answer hit me in the back of the answer hit me in the head like a brick. I don't know why I added that. In February, she started posting on Substack, and she since in the last 13 months has gained 5,000 plus subscribers in that time. And she goes on to talk about how she did this free training. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through what she did, and so many of the things that I teach are just this is the play, and what most people do, like a lot of people do this and a lot of people listen, but most people think they can't do it because they think, well, that's not for me. I'm not rich. I'm not this or that. I'm not I don't have an audience. You just start to make these excuses and you try to talk yourself out of success. And I want you to talk yourself back into it, okay? Because your mind is powerful. Whatever you tell yourself you can achieve, you can. If you don't know my story, about 10 and a half years ago, I was sleeping on the floor of the San Francisco airport. I had been homeless. I had been in and out of hotels and cars and all over the place. And I found myself at the airport because it was indoors and it was safe. And I slept on the floor and it was, I didn't know when I was going to eat next. And now I've invested in more than 200 companies led by underrepresented, underestimated founders. I've been on the cover of Fast Company. And if you don't believe that Fast Company bit, you could Google it. But if you look up here, hold on, I'm just going to show you something real quick. If you look up here, this is a painting. This is something like a $5,000 painting of my Fast Company cover that was gifted to me. And then I bought a bunch from the same artist because he's so cool. But I want to show you the what she did here, and I was trying to let you know, like she was coming from a place where she didn't have a lot of money. She had run out of money, and she was very candid about that and vulnerable about that when she did her last interview. So here's what we're gonna do, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna show you is what Gail did. So Gail, her name is Gail Allen. What she did essentially was, and please take notes. Take notes. Let me know if this is helpful to you, all that, okay? So what Gail did essentially was she built authority. And I have an entire new book called Arlan's Authority Playbook. You can see it behind me here, very tiny if you're watching this on mobile. But in the description below, there's a link to my book, and you get the audio version of it immediately so that you can start listening to it. So that when you wait for the hardback, you can already start consuming it with the ebook, and it comes with that for free. And the reason I have made an entire new book about it is because building authority is where you make money. So if you think about what authority is, essentially it is becoming known for something. You don't have to be the number one person in your lane completely to be the authority, to be an authority. You just need to know more than the people who are spending money with you. It's really that simple. You just need to know more than someone else so that you can teach that person. Okay? So what Gail did was she said that for 13 months, she built on Substack, right? She built a Substack following. And she also learned how to use Substack. This could be anything, okay? You could build anything. It doesn't have to be Substack. It doesn't even have to be a platform. And if you're wondering what should yours be, I don't want you to focus on that right this moment because I have so many resources to help you with your offer. In fact, just go to the link in the description below. I have a link to my 360 pass. It's currently on sale, and it comes with so many products that are AI products that help you with your offer. I don't even have to like I can skip that part. It's just you will spend 30 minutes in there and you will have your offer. But we'll come back to. So her offer was this. So I just want you to just plug in anything that you think might be your offer, or might be your expertise, might be what you build your authority on. Well, like dream, like what would you want it to be? What would you want to be known for? Okay. And then what she did was she was like stuck, right? So she was making a little bit of money here and there, but it wasn't consistent. And then if you read the rest of her post, what she did was she invited people to a live virtual event on Zoom. And 110 people signed up. She did not say how many people attended, but let's just pretend it was 50% who attended, which is kind of normal. Okay. And then she taught her ass off. She just taught live. And you could do it for 30 to 90 minutes. This is what you could do. So you learn something, you then invite your audience, invite your email list, invite your school group, invite your YouTube audience, your LinkedIn, your Instagram audience to something free. It's a free event. Then she taught about one topic. This is important. One topic. And she gave her audience one win. So they didn't have to learn a bunch of stuff. They just had to learn something. They walked away from it smarter and feeling good about themselves. And then at the end of it, or towards the end, she made an offer. And her offer was $197 for her Substack lab, right? Where I think it was 30 days where she taught, where she's on this thing for 60 minutes, okay? And she's like, okay, for $197, I just taught you a bunch of, like, I taught you something really important here. If you liked it, you can spend more time with me. And for 30 days, I'll take you through my Substack lab, and it costs just $197. Now, in her case, look at what her results were based on her post. 35 bought the lab, and then 15 of those 35 also bought a VIP call with her for another $197 add-on. Because they were like, yeah, I want to take this group lab call. I mean, lab, maybe it was once a week, twice a week for 30 days in a group. I love that, but I want a little bit extra. I want a one-on-one with you so you can look at my specific situation. So some people paid 197, some people paid 400. Then she said she also, after that, sold not during the live call, but after talking to a few people, maybe on the VIP calls or later, she sold two high ticket items. I'm going to guess they were, I'm going to put it here as a guess, 3,500 each because of the math when she said she made a total of 17,000 in 3 weeks. So this right here was like 40% of it or so just in the follow-up. Because there's always going to be somebody in your audience who can afford 10 times what you're charging for your main thing. What did I just say? Say it in the comments if you heard me. Repeat what I said. There's always going to be somebody in your audience who can afford 10 times what your main thing is, and maybe even more. Okay, so this is like almost 20 times. It's like 18 times, 17 and a half. And there were two people in her audience who could afford that and who also wanted it. There are probably even more who could afford it. So what you're doing probably right now is pocket watching. You're saying, oh, they couldn't afford that, so I'm not even going to offer it. Can you imagine if she hadn't even offered the 3,500, she would have lost 7,000 or so. So it's very important that you don't block your own blessings, as they say. So if we look at this very clear, this stack she did, this is exactly what I teach, and this is exactly what I do, and this is something that you can do too. So you start at the beginning, and you find your topic of choice, and that's why it's so important to look at my other videos and to join your first 5K. I'm going to erase this, so go ahead and pause it and take a pic. You can always pause it or you take your own notes. So you build authority, and then what? You build authority over time. That's why it's so important to watch my videos, because I teach you on a day-to-day basis almost how to build authority. One way to build authority, I'm going to show you the 4 ways real quick. And these are all found in my book, and they're all found in the 360 pass that is currently on sale in the description below. And they're like this. YouTube. Now, hers happen to be Substack. Okay? Because that works for her. For me, it's YouTube. YouTube is so important, but either of these work because there's depth. This could also be LinkedIn. You know? It could be almost anything as long as you spend more time on it than everybody else around you, right? You're going to dedicate time. So you're going to use some sort of content engine to build authority, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Substack, or something else. Then you are going to use the power of sales. So sales, you're going to stack the skill of sales. So I'll tell you in the 360, we have YouTube OS, which is my AI, plus we have an incredible challenge that the replay is available. So you have sales, and you can use things like Stand Store. You can sell from school, but that shows up later. You can use Gumroad. People ask me about beacons and Gumroad all the time. Sure, you can use those. I prefer Stan. It's simpler. It has it's just something about it. I've been able to make more than 500K in a year, less than a year with it. And it just, I prefer it. But you could use something else, right? And then the skill. I'm from Texas, so sometimes that word comes out. The skill of sales. So in 360, we have Stan OS, and that stands for operating system. It's AI. I also have lots of sales training. So you learn how to sell. Then you're going to incorporate AI in general, practical AI to help you get leveraged even more so. So each part of this is leverage. Your YouTube or your content engine is the fact that you have distribution of your message is incredibly powerful and leveraged. When you build your sales skill, if you can sell, you'll never worry about money again. And so many people are so scared to sell because they think it feels thirsty or it feels uncomfortable or people will make fun of them. But everybody that you know that you love and think that they're so awesome in business, what are they? They're incredible salespeople. Think through the people you really admire. Their sales skills are on point. So it's something you have to get into if you're going to make a lot of money. And then practical AI gives you leverage because it adds speed. Hold on. It adds speed. I don't know what's happening with my thing here. It adds speed and it adds efficiency. And and I don't know what's happening with this, but maybe the battery ran out of my pen. And then the fourth piece is community. I started this video by showing you one of my communities, your first 5K, 24,000 people. So every day I come in here and I get to hang out with this group. Look at this, Teresa, my mind is blown talking about YouTube OS. The missing piece, done is better than perfect. Post your wins from March. Look, we're 4 days in and 528 comments. So I get to come in here and hang out with my group. I get to teach them things in the classroom, and that's the community part. In a world where we have AI taking over everything, and this is, believe me, just the beginning, community brings everything back to the ground. It brings it back to reality. And more people are going to want that realness. There's going to be videos that you don't know if it's real or not. There's going to be all kinds of stuff happening that's going to feel like light years away for us just in a year or two. But people, humans, community, talking to each other, commiserating, all of that will be so important. And you also get to nurture your customers and your potential customers. So for instance, if your offer on this live virtual session is going to be a course, courses are kind of sitting there. But you notice what Gail did? She didn't say a course. It's a lab. It's a live 30-day cohort, meaning a group of people getting together and learning with her at the same time. That is community. So you have YouTube, sales, AI, community. All right. I want you to think about what your offer could be. If you want your offer to be figured out for you, head over to the 360 Pass, pick it up right now before the price goes back up. It's on sale right now. And the first thing I tell you to do is go in to that first dollar OS. It's called First Dollar Operating System. It's inside a 360 Pass. Once you're in, use it for 30 minutes. You'll have your offer figured out. If you don't want to get the pass or you can't right now, there is a payment plan, by the way. But if you can't get it right now, go into the free membership that's linked below your first 5K. Go into that $100 offer challenge that Gail talked about. It is free. That's what's even crazier about that $17,000. She learned it from a free course, a free challenge. So you start with your building authority. There's something you already have. That's what the book talks about. It's not like you have to start all over if you don't want to. You already have something. The reason that Gail's Substack career took off is because she was talking about a topic on Substack that was her topic. She was talking about aging gracefully, as it were, because she was 68 and people couldn't believe it. And you won't be able to believe it either when you go and look at her post. So she was talking about that on Substack. And in doing so, she learned the skill of posting on Substack, of titling things, of when to post, how often to post, all those little things that you learn by doing. So you already have something that you enjoy, that you want to try, that you want to learn. So you either learn it or you already know it. And then you take that, and one way you could do it, you don't have to do this every time, but one way is you have you invite people to a live free session where you teach for 30 to 90 minutes. Don't overteach. Don't teach so much they don't need anything else, but let them have a win. Give them a really solid win. Then you make an offer. And let's say you invite 50 people and 20 people show up. Okay? Then and I'm giving you real numbers here. It's probably going to be a little bit more than that, but let's just say 20 to be conservative. Then you want to have something like 10 to 20% of those people purchase from you if it's $200 or less. So let's say that of the 20 who showed up, let's say that 4 of them buy from you and it cost $199. Well, that's $800 out the gate. Let's say one of those 4 buys an upsell like the VIP package or the VIP call that Gail had. That's now $1,000. So you do that, and that's not even without a high ticket offer. You don't even have to have the high ticket yet. You'll grow into it. So let's say you made $1,000 by inviting people in, 50 people signed up and 20 people showed up. That means for every person who signed up, you made $20. And for every person who showed up, you made $50 in that scenario. So what I would do in that scenario, and I've done it multiple times over and over and over again, and my last live session made $50,000 in like a week. What I would do then is I would say, okay, how often can I do this where it makes sense? Like how long will it take me to get new people into my orbit where when I invite 50 people sign up? If you can do that twice a month, that's $2,000 extra dollars you just made. Now imagine you do that twice a month, 100 people sign up total each month, 40 people show up, and 8 people buy, and then 2 of them buy the VIP. Then once you spend some time there, you can start to develop that higher ticket offer that is that back end, which gives you a boost, and maybe it causes another 1,000 or 2,000 per month. Now we're talking 3,000 to 5,000 per month on something that you just keep repeating. It's not this huge, crazy funnel. You don't have to have a sales team. You don't have to learn everything in the world. It's just, let me find out something that will help other people, give them a free win. Some of those people will convert. And let me do the math on the first one. I have to do the first one in order to get the math. And if I don't do it, how will I ever know? And then you repeat, you rinse. You also get better and better and better at it with each go. And you're like, whoa, okay, actually, I'm going to do this once per month. I'm going to invite, and I'm going to do this thing over here that I learned will bring me more people who actually show up. I'm going to do maybe an email sequence, or I'm going to do something that I learned inside of your first 5K or inside of 360 Pass that'll make my show up rates better. And if my show up rates are better, I don't have to invite as often. And I still make the same amount of money. And then I'll tweak some things and see if I can make more money. And this is just one avenue. There are multiple ways you can do this. So I wanted to share this with you. I hope it's been helpful. Let me know in the comments if you want more videos like this one. Gives you very specifics what to do next. And I can't wait to see what you make happen.